If you are eyeing a booster box, if you are eyeing a specific set, do not waste time. Just go ahead and buy it. What once worked in the past, where you could wait a good couple years and then come to the set when it was older, does not work anymore. The market is evolving and your strategy needs to as well. Today, I'll be talking about in 3 different segments on why buying the box now versus waiting is worth it. We'll be talking about the perks you get from buying it right now and being willing to wait. We'll also be talking about the consequences of not doing that and how you actually make longer returns. I know it feels more efficient to buy it last second because you're skipping all those dead years of no growth. However, you actually make better returns, and I'll explain that all in this video. So I don't want to waste time. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's begin. Alrighty, so people have become a lot more aware. In Sword and Shield, there were a lot of false claims. People claimed that Brilliant Stars would be the biggest set of Sword and Shield. People claimed that Celebrations would make history and would do it absolutely phenomenal. It is now, but it was dead for many, many years. And people were saying to buy Celebrations over Evolving Skies. That was a huge debate back in the day. Didn't really age well. Brilliant Stars one didn't age well. People said Fusion Strike wouldn't really go up because of the robbery in the factory. Aged horribly. Rainbow Rares, huge. That was a huge thing back in the day. When Scarlet and Violet was confirmed to not have Rainbow Rares became huge. Like, people were saying like it's going to be the next big thing. Didn't happen. So in Scarlet and Violet, the market has changed because people have become a lot more aware. People immediately can see which is the best set, right? Like, Destined Rivals has never been a debate. Everyone agrees it's the best booster box set. No one disagrees on that. People disagree on like Prismatic and 151 or Paldean Fates. Like, everybody has their opinion on that. Or like which one's better, Paradox Rift or Temporal Forces, Paldea Evolved or Surging Sparks. Everyone can agree Destined Rivals is the best set. So what happened was Destined Rivals came out the gate. It was $250, but the people looked at that and they're like, well, hold up. I'm more than happy to buy the best booster box. All it costs is $250. Shut up and take my money. Enough people did that. So then what it did was it rallied up the booster box where people looked at that and went, huh, that actually makes sense. That should be an expensive booster box because it is the best set of the era. Everyone can agree on that. You've got to remember, if everyone's opinion was split, it wouldn't be such a high price difference from that compared to Surging Sparks or Paldea Evolved or Paradox Rift. It's purely because everybody agrees it's better, similar to Evolving Skies. Now let's go over the first perk. The first perk is you get access to the best possible products at the best possible price. If you bought the best possible products in 151, Booster Bundle displays, Pokemon Center ETBs, 151 ETBs, and 151 UPC. In my opinion, that's the 4 products which are the best in Scarlet and Violet 151. Let's firstly talk about 151 Pokemon Center ETBs. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's not really much to talk about there. Great investment. But the thing is, if you waited, every single day you waited, it would just keep going up. Then let's talk about 151 UPCs. It was loved from day one. Yes, I understand it sat on shelves, but the thing is, it was still loved. The difference is Paldea Evolved took time for people to warm up. Scarlet and Violet, it took time for people to warm up to. 151 out the gate, people loved. So if you just went, you know what, this is such a good set, I'm not going to risk missing out on it, so I'm going to buy the best products now, every single product you would absolutely be killing it. Out of the 4 best products, the only one that has received a reprint is the 151 Booster Bundle display. But think about how hard it is to get 151 Booster Bundle displays now. Getting it sealed is ridiculously hard. So even now, yes, it got reprints, but it still held such a big premium because it's so difficult to obtain sealed ones. So the big perk is that you get the best quality products at the best price. Prismatic Evolutions, in 2 years' time, I can guarantee you, people will be flooding every forum asking like, is it fine to buy Prismatic poster collections? Is that going to do well? Or text stickers? Or, I don't know, if they make a Blooming Waters for Prismatic, let's just call it Blooming Evolutions. If they make Blooming Evolutions and then people are going to go ahead and say, hey, is this a good buy? It's got a really good price pack. Let's look at Prismatic ETBs in 2 years' time. All right, well, the Elite Trainer box is $300. It's like, what, $30-ish a booster pack? All right, well, that's $30 a booster pack. If we get it from Blooming Evolutions, then we can get booster packs for like $9. So then people will do the calculations just like they do with 151. Same goes for SBCs. So when you get in a product early, you get the best possible items. Now, I'll move on to the next perk in a sec. I just want to quickly plug Black Bolt for a second. With Black Bolt, it is the set that I am very early on because I believe very heavily on it. I feel like it's going to do very well. So I'm buying only the best premium items. I'm buying Booster Bundle Display, which is an EU exclusive item. So you've got that exclusivity. It's already difficult to obtain because it's a sealed display, but then adding the region exclusive makes it way more premium. Another thing is Pokemon Center ETBs. I'm getting 10 Pokemon Center ETBs. And the reason why I'm doing this, I'm looking at Black Belt, I'm going, all right, this is a very, very good set. It's very solid. It's got some great heat inside. Very difficult grading like Paldea Evolved. Very big chasers like Prismatic and Descent Rivals. All right, well, it's got God Packs, Master Balls. It's got some heat inside. So I'm going, all right, I'm going to buy Pokemon Center ETBs. I'm not going to buy the normal ETBs. I'm not going to buy booster bundles. I'm not going to try and get the best price per pack. I'm going to buy the most collectible item. Because when people eventually warm up to it, then people would desire those items. Now, I get a bit of a head start because I'm willing to wait a long time and I'm seeing a vision. Now, it could end out horribly and I could just look like an idiot in a couple of years. I guess we'll see. Realistically, because it's got expensive chasers inside, that's probably not going to be the case. That plus difficult grading, plus Master Balls, plus God Packs, yeah, it's probably going to do quite well. But the point is, if you are happy to wait, you actually make better returns, which is actually the next perk I'm going to go over. The next thing we're going to talk about after this is the consequence of waiting. However, if you are happy to wait, you actually make larger returns. And the reason why is because the premium items always go up the highest in percentage by a long shot. 151 ETBs. The price per pack is like $40 or $45 per pack. It's atrocious. Then you get to something like 151 poster collections and it's like $9 a pack. So you get a way bigger premium if you bought the 151 ETBs. Now, I want to be clear. It is not some random unknown product. It's 151 ETBs, man. Everybody was buying it when it came out. It wasn't the craziest thing out there. It's not like you bought, I don't know, like a UK half booster box and then that so happened to do well. It's not the craziest thing out there, right? So it is almost like you can predict which ones are going to do the best because of based off the collectability of the item. So Prismatic ETBs is a great example. If you're buying Prismatic ETBs, what you're doing is you're looking at that and you're going, you know what? This set is about 9 months old. Now, I would usually invest in a set once it's like 2 years old so I can get in at the last minute. So I skip that dead period and I just go straight to the meat and potatoes. But with Prismatic Evolutions, you've made an exception because you've looked at it and you've gone, you know what? This is actually such a good set. I'm not going to make that risk. It's not worth it. Some people missed out on Paladin Fate, some people missed out on 151. A lot of people don't want to make that same mistake with Prismatic Evolutions. With Destined Rivals, I'm doing that balls to the walls. With Destined Rivals, what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and saying, hey, not only I'm going to buy booster boxes I can get at retail. So I've bought 7 booster boxes, I've gone for $200 each USD, which is absolutely bonkers. But then on top of that, if any good booster box price present themselves, I'll buy it. Like I bought one for $370 USD. Great. But then also what I'm doing is I'm going, hey, you know what? Destined Rivals is actually such a good set. If I find this at retail, I'm going to buy it. So I have blisters, booster bundles, build and battles. Like this product, no one wants because they all want booster boxes. I'm getting these for retail on the secondary market because people buy it thinking that they can make $1 million off of it. They go to try and resell it and they go, oh crap, I can't even resell this. I'm thinking, seriously? It's a sealed box. It's got pretty good promos inside. It's got 4 booster packs. You look at Evolving Skies Build and Battles and they're like 200 USD. Dude, I'm buying this for like $30 a pop. Evolving Skies is the next Destiny Rivals, 100%. Now, I don't think it'll do as much gains as Evolving Skies because it's not that good. It's not like SSS tier, it's more like just S tier. It's not like insanely up there, but the thing is that even if it does 75% of Evolving Skies gains, which I could see it doing, this is still going to be what 75% of 200 is 150. So I'm buying this for $30. It's going to be a $150 box in however many years. Well, sign me up. In fact, it might even be $200 because the promos are just that good. So what I'm doing is I'm not only buying Destined Rivals, I'm also buying it right now because I can't risk missing out on this set. Not only on top of that, I'm also buying any product I can humanly get. I'm not quite doing this with Prismatic Evolutions because Prismatic Evolutions has so many good products. Like Destined Rivals, I'm buying this because it's a Desmeral's box, so close to MSRP. However, what I'm doing is, and for anyone who's listening, it's a build and battle box, so it's like the rejected item. However, it's going to be designed in a couple years, so that'll be kind of funny. But if you look at the figure collection box, Prismatic Evolutions, you have the figure collection box, you have Pokemon Center ETBs, normal ETBs, you have SPCs, you have booster bundle displays, and you have a couple other good items like I can't really think of at the moment. I'm sure if I look up the list, I'll think of a couple other ones. But you have so many premium items. The thing about Desmeral's is we basically just have the booster box, which is the premium item. So with Destined Rivals, that's why I'm sort of happy to do it. With Prismatic Evolutions, because it's overpriced across the board. Like if you look at poster collections, the retail versus the secondary market, it's like double the retail, right? But then if you look at ETBs, it's the same thing. It's like double retail. So Prismatic Evolutions across the board is really expensive, and it's all like roughly the same X of retail, right? So it's like 1.9x retail price. That's usually what the secondary market is for a lot of these packs, for most of them. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at that, I'm going, all right, you know what? Prismatic Evolutions, they're all roughly in sync, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy the best items. With Destined Rivals, what I'm going is I'm going, all right, you know what? And for the record, the reason why I believe is because with Destined Rivals, they make a lot more of it. For holiday sets, they make way less. Like you spend $100 on that box at retail and you get 11 packs. Destined Rivals, a booster box is what, 36 packs, the retail is $153 or something like that. So with Destined Rivals, because like this is so close to retail, but then the booster box is like almost 3 times the MSRP, I'm just going ahead and just buying any Destined Rivals I can get, which I think is kind of valid because yes, an item may not go up as much, like these Destined Rivals building battles are not going to go up as much as the booster box, but I also get a cheaper entry compared to MSRP, so it kind of does even out there. Now, what is the consequence of waiting? Well, the consequence of waiting is extremely dangerous. The consequence of waiting is you buy overpriced, crappy products. 151, if you bought it at release, you would buy the best products at retail. Now, if you want to buy 151, you buy the crappiest products 2 times of retail or 3 times of retail. Blooming Waters is a great example. I think Blooming Waters it's okay. It's not a horrible box. It's okay. The only thing is it's extremely huge. It's not collectible at all. It is a pack value thing. It is something that people open up to crack, which is great, but it's not really a collectible thing, right? So it's purely just a good price per pack. That's the selling point for Blooming Waters. So you compare that to an Elite Trainer box with a promo, a UPC with 3 promos, Booster Bundle Display, which is a little bit more of a premium item, a little bit more of a collectible item. So you compare it to these kind of items and you go, all right, well, I'm paying 2 to 3 times retail for Blooming Waters, which is a worse product than what you paid for these good products, which are now 5 times retail. So not only getting a worse item, you're paying more price per pack. So it's not worth waiting. And I think the reason why this happens is because people are a lot more aware. You will notice that as the years go by, this market will make less and less errors because people can mutually agree on what they think is a good set. Now, I will say there is also room to make money off of underrated plays like Black Bolt, for example. I still think people are underestimating that, but I think the reason why people are underestimating it is because there's so many new people to the hobby which aren't seeing $1,000 top chases. They're not seeing these crazy Gen 1 SIR like with multiple evolution lines. That it's just a good set, right? It's just a good set with good cards, expensive chases, difficult pull rates. It's a good set. So what I think has happened is it's just been released around a lot of much better sets, so then this one has copped hate because it's not as good. And I think that doesn't really make sense, and that's why I'm jumping on it, where I'm going, hang on. But when this is however many years old, it's the only black and white remake. You've only got one black and white set in the last 12 years or so. All right, well, you know what? That's actually kind of worth buying. It's not like they made a whole remake of an era and you got a bunch of sets to look at. It's just one, right? So buying those items where you're willing to wait a long time pays off. And the consequences is you'll be jumping in last minute, buying worse products at a more expensive price. So that's why if you're thinking about buying Destined Rivals, if you're thinking about buying Prismatic Evolutions, my recommendation to you is just buy it now. If you could see in 4 years' time, this would be a $200 box. It is currently about $30 in the secondary market. So if you were told that, what would you do with that information? Would you go ahead and say, all right, you know what, I'm just going to wait? Like, you know it's going to be a $200 box. You don't know what the price is going to be in between. You just know eventually it's going to be $200. You wouldn't go, all right, well, I'm going to wait for it to go to $25. No, you would just go ahead and buy it now. So it's the fear of mystery. It's the unknown that scares people. However, you could just Google 10 years from now and see the price of Decimal's booster boxes. I guarantee you would be buying it up like crazy today, because you will look at it and go, hold up, that's going to be a multi-$1,000 booster box, provided it actually is, in however many years. All right, well, I don't actually care about what the price is going to be in a year or 2 years. I'm just going to make sure I can secure my bag and secure my entry on this set. So yeah, it is not worth waiting. This market has become too evolved. People have become too aware on which sets are good and which sets are bad. So it is not worth waiting.